Judges score 5, 5, and 4.5. Diving next is Olivia Cucci with a 5-2-3-1 D dive and difficulty of 2.1. Judges score 7, 7, and 7. Diving next is Kaylee Mills with a 105C dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 6, 7, and 7. Diving next is Veronica Skipper with a 203B dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 6.5, 5, and 6. Diving next is Emmy Gatto with a 203B dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 7.5, 7.5, and 7. Diving next is Macy Polisek with a 105B dive and difficulty of 2.6. Judges score 6, 6, and 6.5. Diving next is Megan Shea with a 104C dive and difficulty of 2.2. Judges score 4.5, 5, and 5. Diving next is Sarah Weissman with a 302B dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 5, 6, and 6. Diving next is Madison Koistra with a 105B dive and difficulty of 2.6. Judges score 6.5, 6.5, and 7. Diving next is Kylie Brycer with a 102B dive and difficulty of 1.5.
Wants to change it to 5111A.
The dive will now be 5111A. Judges score 4.5, 4, and 5. Diving next is Leah Scarpin with a 104C dive and difficulty of 2.2. Judges score 6.5. Diving next in the men's 3 meter, Austin Place with a 205C dive and difficulty of 2.8. Six and 7. Diving next is Aiden Busignani with a 105B dive and difficulty of 2.4.
Is Manny scratched, or is Manny, did he just skip his first round dive? Was he planning on diving?
Yeah.
He was planning on diving, he just missed his first round dive.
Okay.
So if you can put him back in, he was between Aiden and Austin previously. Okay, sounds good. You'll announce it, Manny.
Now diving, Hayes Emilio with a 101A dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges scoring 4.5, 4.5, and 5. Now diving, Aiden Busignani with a 105B dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges scoring 6, 6.5, and 7. Now diving, Cameron Thompson with a 202C dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges scoring 5, 5, and 5.5. Now diving, really good passer with a 105B dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges scoring 5.5, 6, and 6.5. Now diving in the women's 1 meter, Bella Larson with a 203B dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges scoring 5, 5.5, and 6. Diving next is Samantha Pratt with a 105C dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 6, 6, 6. Diving next is Bradley Palmer with a 105C dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 5.5, 5.5, and 6. Diving next is Emma Miller with a 202C dive and difficulty of 1.5. Judges score 4.5, 5.5, and 5.5. Diving next is Olivia Cucci with a 203B dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 6, 6, and 6.5. Diving next is Katie Mills with a 303B dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 6, 6.5, and 6.5. Diving next is Veronica Skipper with a 303B dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 5, 6, and 6. Diving next is Emmy Gatto with a 403B dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 5.5, 5.5, and 5.5. Diving next is Macy Polacek with a 203B dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 6. Diving next is Megan Shea with a 403C dive and difficulty of 2.2. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 6. Diving next is Sarah Weissman with a 103B dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 6.5. Diving next is Madison Koistra with a 303C dive and difficulty of 2.1.
Go back, champ!
Judges score 6.5, 7 and 7. Diving next is Tyler Greiser with a 202B dive, a difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 5.5, 5 and 5.5. Diving next is Leah Scouting with a 203C dive, difficulty of 2.0. Judges score 5, 6 and 6. Now diving in the men's 3 meter, Austin Slice with a bottom correction with a 305C dive and difficulty of 2.8. Judges score 6, 6 and 6. Now diving Manny Lopez Zamudio with a 302C dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 3, 3 and 4. Diving next is Eden Busigiani with a 107C dive and difficulty of 2.8. Judges score 5.5, 6 and 6. Diving next is Cameron Thompson with a 5.211A dive and difficulty of 2.0. Judges score 4, 4 and 4.5. Diving next is Will Goodpaster with a 5.152B dive and difficulty of 3.0. Judges score 5.5, 6.5 and 7. Diving next to 11 meter, Bella Larson with a 5.223D dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 6, 6.5 and 6.5. Diving next is Samantha Cloud with a 203B dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 5.5, 6 and 6. Diving next next is Bradley Palmer with a 5-2-2-3 D guide and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 5, 5.5, and 5.5. Diving next is Emma Miller with a 302 C dive and a difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 4.5, 5, and 5. Diving next is Olivia Gucci with a 104 B dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 6, 6, and 7. Diving next is Kaylee Mills with a 203 B dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 5, 5.5, and 6. Diving next is Veronica Skipper with a 104 B dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 5, 6, and 6. Diving next is Emmy Gatto with a 104 B dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 6, 6, and 6. Diving next is Macy Polasek with a 303 C dive and difficulty of 2.1. Judges score 6, 6.5, and 7. Diving next is Megan Shea with a 203 C dive and difficulty of 2.0. Judges score 4, 4.5, and 5. Diving next is Sarah Weissman with a 5-1-2-4 D dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 5, 5.5, and 6. Diving next is Madison Koistra with a 203 B dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges scoring 7.5, 7.5, and 8. Diving next is Carly Greaser with a 301 C dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 5, 5.5. Diving next is Leah Skelton with a 303C dive, a difficulty of 2.1. Judges score 5, 5.5. Now diving the next 3 meter, Austin Place with a 5.333D dive, a difficulty of 2.5. Judges score 6.5, 7 and 7. Diving next is Mary Lopez Zamudio with a 201A dive, a difficulty of 1.9. Judges score 4.5, 4 and 4. Diving next is Aiden Busikiani with a 5.134D dive, a difficulty of 2.5. Judges score 6, 6.5, and 6.5. Diving next is Cameron Thompson with a 103B dive, a difficulty of 1.6.
Go, Cam.
Judges score 4, 5 and 5. Diving next is Will Goodmaster with a 107C dive, a difficulty of 2.8. Judges score 4, 4.5 and 5. Diving next in the women's 1 meter, Bella Larson with a 303C dive, a difficulty of 2.1. Judges score 6, 6.5 and 6.5. Diving next is Samantha Plow with a 303C dive, a difficulty of 2.1.
Go, Sam. I'll just stop. Okay. Yeah, he'll be on that. Okay. Stand up. Shake my legs out a little bit. You can't see the chair. Good to go, yeah.
Diving next, Bradley Palmer with a 403C dive, a difficulty of 2.2.
Got it, Brad.
Judges scoring 6.5, 7 and 7. Diving next is Emma Miller with a 5.121 deep dive, a difficulty of 1.7. Judges scoring 4, 4 and 4. Diving next is Olivia Cucci with a 105C dive, a difficulty of 2.4. A dive of 5.233 deep dive, difficulty of 2.2. Judges score 6, 7, and 6. Diving next is Kaylee Mills with a 403B dive, a difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 6, 6, and 6.5. Diving next is Veronica Skipper with a 105C dive, a difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 6, 5.5, and 6. Diving next is Emmy Gatto with a 105C dive, a difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 5, 6, and 6. Diving next is Macy Polisek with a 403C dive, a difficulty of 2.2. Judges score 6.5, 7, and 7. Diving next is Megan Shea with a 302C dive, a difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 6, 7, and 7. Diving next is Sarah Weissman with a 403C dive and a 2.2 difficulty. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 6. Diving next is Madison Koistra with a 404C dive, a difficulty of 2.8. With a dive of 104B dive for Madison Koistra. Judges score 6, 6.5, and 7. Diving next is Kylie Brycer with a 5121D dive, a difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 3.5, 4, and 4.5. Diving next is Leah Scouten with a 5111A dive, a difficulty of 1.8. Judges score 5, 5.5, and 6. Next up in our men's 3-meter, Austin Place with a 5335D dive, a difficulty of 2.9. Judges score 6.5, 7 and 7. Diving next is Manny Lopez Murillo with a 5-2-1-1A dive and difficulty of 2.0. Judges score 2.5, 3 and 3.5. Diving next is Aiden Busignani with a 405C dive and difficulty of 2.7. Judges score 6, 6 and 5.5. Diving next is Cameron Thompson with a 302C dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 5 and 5. Diving next is Will Goodpaster with a 305B dive and difficulty of 3.0.
Go, Will. Go, Will.
Judges score 3.5, 4 and 4.5. Diving next in the women's 1 meter, Bella Larson with a 5-1-2-4D dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 6, 6.5 and 6.5. Diving next is Bradley Palmer with a 404C dive and difficulty of 2.8.
Go, Brad.
Judges score 5, 5.5 and 6. Diving next is Emma Miller with a 5-2-1-1A dive and difficulty of 1.8. Judges score 5, 6 and 6. Diving next is Olivia Cucci with a 303C dive and difficulty of 2.1. Judges score 7, 7.5 and 8. Diving next is Katie Mills with a 5-2-2-3D dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 6, 6 and 6. Diving next is Veronica Skipper with a 5-1-3-4D dive and difficulty of 2.6. Judges score 5, 5, and 5.5. Diving next is Eddie Gatto with a 303 B dive, a difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 6, 6.5, and 7. Diving next is Macy Polisek with a 5-1-3-2 D dive, a difficulty of 2.2. Judges score 7, 7, and 7. Diving next is Megan Shea with a 5-2-2-3 D dive, and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 5, 5.5, and 6. Diving next is Sarah Weissman with a 5-2-2-3 D dive, and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 5, 5, and 6. Diving next is Madison Quaystra with a 5-1-3-2 D dive, and difficulty of 2.2. Judges score 6.5, 7, and 7. Diving next is Kylie Brycer with a 103 C dive, and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 5, 5, and 5.5. Diving next is Leah Stoughton with a 5-2-2-1 D dive, and difficulty of 1.7.
I thought you said 5, 2, 3, 1.
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
Judges score 5, 5.5, and 6. Next up, our next 3-meter dive. Austin Place with a 405 C dive, and difficulty of 2.7. Judges score 6.5, 6.5, and 7. Diving next is Mary Lopez Zamudio with a 5-1-1-1 A dive, and difficulty of 2.0. Judges score 0, 0.5. Diving next is Aiden Busignani with a 205 C dive, and a difficulty of 2.8. Judges score 3, 3, and 3. Diving next is Cameron Thompson with a 101B dive, a difficulty of 1.5. Judges score 4.5, 5, and 5.5. Diving next is Will Goodmaster with a 205B dive and difficulty of 3.0. Judges score 5, 5.5, and 6. Diving next to the women's 1 meter, Veronica Skipper with a 301A dive and difficulty of 1.8. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 6. Diving next is Emmy Gatto with a 401B dive and difficulty of 1.5. Judges score 7, 7, and 7.5. Diving next is Macy Polisek with a 103B dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 6.5, 6.5, and 7. Diving next is Megan Shea with a 103B dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 6.5. Diving next is Sarah Weissman with a 101B dive and difficulty of 1.3. Judges score 6, 6, and 6.5. Diving next is Madison Koistra with a 401B dive and difficulty of 1.5.
Let's go, baby, champ!
Judges score 8, 8.5, and 8. Diving next is Kylie Bracer with a 401C dive and difficulty of 1.4. Judges score 4.5, 5, and 5. Diving next is Leah Skelton with a 301A dive and difficulty of 1.8. Judges score 5, 5, and 5. Diving next in the men's 3-meter, Will Goodpaster with a 403B dive and difficulty of 2.1.
Go, Will. Come on, Will.
Judges score 7, 7, and 7.
There you go.
Diving next to the women's 1-meter, Veronica Skipper with a 103B dive and a difficulty of 1.7. Judges scored 6.5, 7, and 7. Diving next is Emmy Gatto with a 201B dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges scored 6.5, 6.5, and 7. Diving next is Macy Polasek with a 201B dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges scored 7, 7.5, and 8. Diving next is Megan Shea with a 401B dive and difficulty of 1.5. Judges scored 6, 6.5, and 7. Diving next is Sarah Weissman with a 401B dive and difficulty of 1.5. Judges scored 6.5, 6.5, and 6.5. Diving next is Madison Koistra with a 103B dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges scored 7.5, 7.5, and 8. Diving next is Kylie Greiser with a 101A dive and difficulty of 1.4. Judges scored 6, 6, and 6. Now diving Leah Scouton with a 401B dive and difficulty of 1.5. Judges scored 6, 6.5, and 7. Now diving in the men's 3-meter, Will Goodpaster with a 201C dive and difficulty of 1.7.
Go, Will.
Judges score 5, 5.5, and 5.5. Diving next to the women's 1 meter, Veronica Skipper with a 401 beat dive and difficulty of 1.5. Judges score 6.5, 6.5, and 6.5. Diving next is Annie Gatto with a 103 beat dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 7, 7, and 8. Diving next is Macy Polasek with a 301 beat dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 7, 7, and 7. Diving next is Megan Shea with a 201 beat dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 6.5. Diving next is Sarah Weissman with a 201 beat dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 6, 6, and 6.5. Diving next is Madison Koistra with a 301 beat dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 8, 8, and 8.5. Diving next is Kylie Gracer with the 201 8 dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 5, 6, and 6. Diving next is Leah Scouton with a 103 beat dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 6, 6, and 6. Now diving our next 3 meter, Will Goodpaster with a 103 beat dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 5, 6, and 7. Now diving in the women's 1 meter, Veronica Skipper with a 5-2-3-1 D dive and difficulty of 2.1. Judges score 5, 6, and 6. Now diving Annie Gatto with a 301 beat dive and difficulty of 1.7. 7.5, 7.5, and 8. Now diving Mason Polisek with a 401A dive and difficulty of 1.8.
Go, Mace.
Judges score 6.5, 7, and 7.5. Now diving Megan Shea with a 301B dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 5, 6.5, and 6.5. Now diving Sarah Weissman with a 5.231D dive and difficulty of 2.1. Judges score 6, 6, and 6. Now diving Madison Koistrom with a 201B dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 8.5, 8.5, and 9. Now diving Kylie Bracer with a 5.211A dive and difficulty of 1.8. Judges score 4.5, 4.5, and 6. Now diving Leah Scouting with a 201A dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 5, 5.5, and 5.5. Now diving our next 3 meter, Will Goodpaster with a 301C dive and difficulty of 1.8. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 6.5. Now diving the women's 1 meter, Veronica Skipper with a 201A dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 6.5, 6.5, and 7. Now diving Eddie Gatto with a 5.132D dive and difficulty of 2.2. Judges score 5, 5.5, and 6. Now diving Mason Polisek with a 5.231D dive and difficulty of 2.1. Judges scored 5, 5.5, and 6. Now diving Megan Shea with a 5-1-2-4 D dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges scored 4, 4.5, and 5. Now diving Sarah Weissman with a 301 B dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges scored 5.5, 6, and 6. Now diving Madison Koistra with a 5-2-3-1 D dive and difficulty of 2.1. Judges scored 7, 7.5, and 7.5. Now diving Kylie Glaser with a 302 C dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges scored 5, 5, and 5.5. Now diving Leah Scoutman with a 5-2-1-1 A dive and difficulty of 1.8. Judges scored 6, 6.5, and 7. Now diving for a men's 3 meter, Will Goodmaster with a 5-1-3-2 D dive and difficulty of 2.1. Judges scored 6, 6.5, and 6.5. That concludes the first session of today's meet. The next session will begin at 12:20 p.m.
For 1 meter, you doing 6 or 11?
I think so. I'm a little tired of it.
Yeah. That's tough.
Good job.
That's a really good one.
That's all right. You okay? Can you share me?
Yeah, I think I'm doing 11, right? I think I'm having no that scratching. Well, I think who asked me said it. Yeah, I think he's trying to do Well, at this point, I probably prefer you. But then if I do bad, I'm gonna be like, I should have said that. This is the best. Hey, it's gonna be one of these. Should I
Thank you.
Well, that was rough. That was kind of rough.
I don't know how you make 2.5 heights, but like like that. I don't know how you're doing that. Like every time you say height, and then your height is so open, and you make out it's just straight.
Well, I can do that. No, I can double straight long.
It's so much fun. Just getting like whiplash.
Yeah, I know.
I always like I don't know how to think to get into a different height. Oh my god, you can just like I don't. So you're really connecting with that. I've seen you do those earlier in the season where it wasn't really.
Yeah.
That's good. That's looking good.
See, if I had my way, I'd do it right now. That way I wouldn't have to fight, but thank you. That was a little rough. But I didn't want to come to great for the team, so. Oh, no, I'm not going to. Other kids right here.
I haven't done a cheerleading recently. I'm not in the moment. For so long.
You were the one that got the cut, right?
No, that was not a
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's crazy. Maybe I'll go talk to Brett about it. I do wish that he had
Last divers on the board. Beginning our second session this afternoon will be the women's 3 meter. Now diving number 1, Olivia Cucci with a 403 dive and difficulty of 2.1.
Go, man! You got it, man!
Judges scored 6.5, and 6.5. Now diving Bella Larson with a 105 dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges scored 5.5, 6, and 6. Now diving Bradley Palmer with a 5.233 D dive and difficulty of 2.4.
Let's go, Brad. Let's go, Brad. You got it, Brad.
Judges scored 5, 5.5, and 6. Now diving Kylie Greitzer with a 401C dive and difficulty of 1.3. Judges scored 4, 5, and 5. Now diving Veronica Skipper with a 105B dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges scored 5, 5, and 5.5. Now diving Leah Skelton with a 404C dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges scored 4.5, 5.5, and 5.5. Kicking off the men's 1 meter, Griffin Porter with a 105B dive and difficulty of 2.6. Judges scored 7, 7, and 7.5. Now diving 80 Buzignani with a 303 seed dive and difficulty of 2.1. Judges scoring 5, 5, and 5.5. Now diving Austin Flights with a 105 seed dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges scoring 5, touching 6, 6.5, and 6.5. Now diving Carter Wood with a 105 B dive and difficulty of 2.6. Judges scoring 7, 7.5, and 7.5. Now diving Jerry Thompson with a 103 B dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges scoring 6, 6, and 6. Now diving Manny Lopez Zamudio with a 401C dive and difficulty of 1.4.
Go, Manny!
Judges score 4, 4.5, and 5. Now diving Will Goodpaster with a 105 B dive and difficulty of 2.6. Judges score 5, 5.5, and 6. Now diving Christian Forrester with a 103 C dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 4, 4, and 5. Now diving Matthew Blommel with a 105 B dive and difficulty of 2.6. Judges scoring 6.5, 7, and 7. Now diving Corey Shea with a 105 B dive and difficulty of 2.6. Judges score 7, 7, and 7. In the women's 3 meter, now diving Olivia Cucci with a 404 C dive and difficulty of 2.4.
Go, Dad!
Judges score 5, 5.5, and 6. Now diving Bella Larson with a 5.233 D dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 6.5. Now diving Bradley Palmer with the 105 B dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 6.5, 6.5, and 7. Now diving Kylie Gracer with a 103 C dive and difficulty of 1.5. Judges score 3.5, 3.5, and 3.5. Now diving Veronica Skipper with a 303 B dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 5, 5.5, and 5.5. Now diving Leah Scouten with a 103 B dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 5, 5.5, and 5.5. In the men's 1 meter, now diving Griffin Porter with a 203 B dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 6, 6.5, and 6.5. Now diving Aiden Busigiani with a 105 B dive and difficulty of 2.6. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 6. Now diving Austin Price with a 203 B dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 6.5, 6.5, and 7. Now diving Carter Boyle with a 403 B dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 7, 7, and 7.5. Now diving Cameron Thompson with a 202 C dive and difficulty of 1.5. Judges score 4.5, 5, and 6.5. Now diving Manny Lopez Zamudio with a 101 A dive and difficulty of 1.4. Judges score 4, 4.5, and 5. Now diving Will Goodpasture with a 5.152 C dive and difficulty of 3.0. Judges score 4, 5, and 5.5. Now diving Christian Forster with a 302C dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 4, 5, and 4.5. Now diving Matthew Walker with a 203B dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 6.5, 7, and 7. Now diving Corey Shea with a 205C dive and difficulty of 3.0. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 6. Now diving the women's 3 meter, Olivia Cucci with a 105B dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 6, 6, and 6. Now diving Bella Larson with a 403B dive and difficulty of 2.1. Judges score 6.5, 6.5, and 7. Now diving Jordan Palmer with a 303C dive and difficulty of 2.0. Judges score 4.5, 4.5, and 5. Now diving Tyler Greaser with a 202C dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 4, 4.5, and 5. Now diving Veronica Skipper with a 5233D dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 5.5, 5.5, and 6. Now diving Leah Scouton with a 202A dive and difficulty of 1.8. Judges score 4.5, 5, and 5.5. In the men's 1 meter, now diving Griffin Porter with a 303B dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 6, 6.5, and 7. Now diving Aiden Busignani with a 5134D dive and difficulty of 2.6. Now diving, Austin Place with a 303B dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 5 and 5. Now diving, Herbert Wood with a 405C dive and difficulty of 3.1. Judges score 6, 6.5, and 6.5. Now diving, Cameron Thompson with a 302C dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 5.5, 5 and 5.5. Now diving, Manny Lopez Zamudio with a 201A dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 3.5, 4 and 4.5. Now diving, Will Goodpaster with a 305C dive and difficulty of 3.0.
Go, Will.
Judges score 5, 6 and 6. Now diving, Christian Forster with a 402C dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 4 and 4.5. Now diving, Matthew Blow with a 305C dive and difficulty of 3.0. Judges score 5 and 5.5. Now diving, Corey Shea with a 303C dive and difficulty of 2.1. Judges score 5.5, 6 and 6. Now diving the women's 3-meter, Olivia Tucci with a 303C dive and difficulty of 2.0. Judges score 5 and 5.5. Now diving, Bella Larson with a 203A dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 5.5 and 6. Now diving, Bradley Palmer with a 405C dive and difficulty of 2.7. Judges score 6, 6, and 6.5. Now diving, Kylie Bracer with a 301C dive and difficulty of 1.8. Judges score 5, 5, and 5. Now diving, Leah Scarpin with a 303C dive and difficulty of 2.0.
Nope. Veronica.
Correction. Now diving, Veronica Skipper with a 203A dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 5, 5.5, and 5.5. Now diving, Leah Scout with a 303C dive and difficulty of 2.0. Judges score 6, 6, and 6.5. In the men's 1 meter, now diving, Griffin Porter with a 403C dive and difficulty of 2.2.
Go, Griffin.
Judges score 5.5, 5.5, and 6.5. Now diving, Aiden Busignani with a 403B dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 5, 5.5, and 6. Now diving, Austin Place with a 5.333D dive and difficulty of 2.6. Judges score 5.5, 5.5, and 5. Now diving, Cole Wood with a 205C dive and difficulty of 3.0. Judges score 4, 4.5, and 5. Now diving, Cameron Thompson with a 402C dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 4.5, 5.5, and 5.5. Now diving, Manny Lopez Zamudio with a 302C dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 4.5, 4.5, and 4.5. Now diving, Will Goodpaster with a 205C dive and difficulty of 3.0. Judges score 5.5, 5.5, and 6. Now diving, Christian Forster with a 202C dive and difficulty of 1.5. Judges score 5.5, 5.5, and 5. Now diving, Matthew Blommer with a 403B dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 6.5, 7, and 7. Now diving, Corey Shea with a 403B dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 7. Now diving in the women's 3 meter, Olivia Cucci with a 203B dive and difficulty of 2.2. Judges score 6, and 5.5. Now diving, Bill Larson with a 303B dive and difficulty of 2.3. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 5.5. Now diving, Lovely Palmer with a 203B dive and difficulty of 2.2. Judges score 5, and 5. Now diving, Kylie Bracer with a 5.111A dive and difficulty of 2.0. Judges score 4, 4.5, and 5. Now diving, Veronica Skipper with a 404C dive and difficulty of 2.4. Got it. Judges score 6, 6.5, and 6.5. Now diving, Leah Scouting with a 5.231D dive and difficulty of 2.0. Judges score 4.5, 5.5, and 6. Now diving in the men's 1 meter, Griffin Porter with a 5.132D dive and difficulty of 2.2. Judges score 8, 7.5, and 7. Now diving, Aiden Brusigiani with a 405C dive and difficulty of 3.1. score, 4, 4, and 4.5. Now diving, Austin Price with a 403 dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges scoring 6, 5.5, and 6.5. Now diving, Coleman Road with a 305 C dive and difficulty of 3.0.
Get it shorter.
Judges score 6.5, 6, and 7. Now diving, Cameron Thompson with a 5.111 B dive and difficulty of 1.7.
Mr. Official, I changed to 104C, please.
Correction. The dive will now be a 104C dive for Cameron Thompson.
Okay.
Judges score 4, 4.5, and 4.5. Now diving, Mary Lopez Zamudio with a 5.211A dive and difficulty of 1.8. Judges score 4, 5, and 5.5. Now diving, really good passer with a 404C dive and difficulty of 2.8. Judges score 6, 6, and 6.5. Now diving, Christian Forster with a 5.121D dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 4, 4, and 5. Now diving, Matthew Rommel with a 5.134D dive and difficulty of 2.6. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 6. Now diving, Corey Shea with a 405C dive and difficulty of 3.1. Judges score 6.5, 7, and 7. Now diving in the women's 3 meter, Olivia Gucci with a 5.283 dive and difficulty of 2.4. Judges score 6.5, 6.5, and 6.5. Now diving, Bella Larson with a 414 dive and difficulty of 2.6. Judges score 5.5, and 5.5. Now diving, Bradley Palmer with a 5.134 D dive and difficulty of 2.5. Judges score 5, and 5.5. Now diving, Kylie Gracer with a 402 C dive and difficulty of 1.4. Judges score 4.5, 5, and 5. Now diving, Veronica Skipper with a 405 C dive and difficulty of 2.7. Judges score 4.5, 5, and 5.5. Now diving, Leah Skelton with a 5.111A dive and difficulty of 2.0. Judges score 5, and 5.5. Now diving the men's 1 meter, Griffin Porter with a 305 C dive and difficulty of 3.0. Judges score 5.5, and 5.5. Now diving, Aiden Buzikiani with a 203 C dive and difficulty of 2.0. Judges score 6, and 6.5. Now diving, Austin Weiss with a 405 C dive and difficulty of 3.1.
Austin.
Judges score 5.5, and 5. Now diving, Carter Wood with a 5.233 D dive and difficulty of 2.5. Judges score 6.5, 6.5, and 6.5. Now diving, Cameron Thompson with a 5.121 D dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 4, 3, and 3. Now diving, Manny Lopez Zamudio with a 103 C dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges and 3.5. Now diving, really good passer with a 405C dive and difficulty of 3.1.
Oh well.
Judges scoring 5, 5, and 5. Now driving, Christian Forster with a 5.321D dive and difficulty of 1.8.
Commanders, you got this.
Judges scoring. Judges scoring 3.5, 4, and 4.5. Now diving, Matthew Lawler with a 5.235D dive and difficulty of 2.9. Dive is 5.235D.
Go, Patrick.
Judges scoring 6, 6, and 6. Now diving, Corey Shea with a 5.233D dive and difficulty of 2.5. Judges scoring 5.5, 6, and 6. Now diving the women's 3-meter, Kylie Gracer with a 403C dive and difficulty of 1.9. Judges scoring 5, 5.5, and 5.5. Now diving, Veronica Skipper with a 201C dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges scoring 6, 6, and 6. Now diving, Leah Skelton with a 403C dive and difficulty of 1.9. Judges scoring 5, 6, and 6. Now diving in the men's 1-meter, Cameron Thompson with a 101B dive and difficulty of 1.3.
Let's go, Cam. Let's go, Cam.
Judges scoring 5, 5.5, and 6. Now diving, Manny Lopez Zamudio with a 402C dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges scored 4, 4.5, and 5. Now diving, Will Goodpasture with a 401 beat dive and difficulty of 1.5. Judges scored 5, 6, and 6.5. Correction, 6 instead of 5.5. Now diving, Christian Forrester with a 401C dive and difficulty of 1.4. Judges scored 5, 6, and 6. Now diving, Matthew Blanco with a 103 B dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges scored 7, 7, and 7. Now diving, Corey Shea with a 103 B dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges scored 5.5, 6.5, and 7. Now diving the women's 3 meter, Kylie Greiser with a 101 A dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges scored 5, 5.5, and 6. Now diving, Veronica Skipper with a 103 B dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges scored 6, 6, and 6. Now diving, Leah Scouton with a 101 A dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges scored 5.5, 6, and 6.5. Now diving the men's 1 meter, Cameron Thompson with a 201 B dive and difficulty of 1.6.
Oh, you're good.
Judges scored 3.5, 4, and 4. Now diving, Manny Lopez Zamudio with a 102 C dive and difficulty of 1.4. Judges scored 2, 2.5, and 2.5. Now diving, Will Goodpasture with a 201 C dive and difficulty of 1.5. Judges score 6, 7, and 7.5.
Can I change, Mr. Official, can I change mine from 201C to 201A?
Now diving, Christian Forrester with a 201A dive and difficulty of 1.5. Judges score 4, 4, and 4. Now diving, Matthew Wama with a 201B dive and difficulty of 1.6.
Yeah, Bumble!
Judges score 7, 7, and 7. Now diving, Corey Shea with a 201B dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 5, 6.5, and 6.5. Now diving in the women's 3 meter, Kylie Greiser with a 201A dive and difficulty of 1.9. Judges score 5.5, 4.5, and 5. Now diving, Veronica Skipper with a 301A dive and difficulty of 2.0. Judges score 4, 4, and 5. Now diving, Leah Skelton with a 201A dive and difficulty of 1.9. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 6.5. Now diving the men's 1 meter, Cameron Thompson with a 301B dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 4, 4.5, and 5. Now diving, Manny Lopez Zamudio with a 202B dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 4.5, 5, and 5. Now diving, Will Goodpaster with a 103B dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 6, 6.5 and 7. Now diving, Christian Forster with a 5.211A dive and difficulty of 1.8. Judges score 4, 4.5, and 5. Now diving, Matthew Blomel with a 3.01B dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 7.5, 7.5, and 7.5. Now diving, Corey Shea with a 3.01C dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 6, 6, and 6. Now diving in the women's 3-meter, Kylie Gracer with a 5.211A dive and difficulty of 2.0. Judges score 5, 5, and 5. Now diving, Veronica Skipper with a 5.231D dive and difficulty of 2.0. Judges score 5.5, 5, and 6. Now diving, Leah Scouton with a 3.01C dive and difficulty of 1.8.
I'm going to stand.
Judges score 5.5, 6, and 6. Now diving in the men's 1-meter, Cameron Thompson with a 4.01B dive and difficulty of 1.5. Judges score 4.5, 4.5, and 5.5. Now diving, Manny Lopez Zamudio with a 3.01C dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 3.5, 3.5, and 4. Now diving, Will Goodpaster with a 3.01C dive and difficulty of 1.6. Judges score 3.5, 5, and 5. Now diving, Christian Forster with a 3.01C dive and difficulty of 1.6.
Go Andrews.
Judges score 5, 5, and 5.5. Now diving, Matthew Blomel with a 401B dive and difficulty of 1.5. Judges score 6.5, 7, and 7. Now diving, Corey Shea with a 401B dive and difficulty of 1.5. Judges score 6.5, 6.5, and 7. Now diving in the women's 3 meter. Kylie Gracer with a 302C dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 4, 5, and 6. Now diving, Veronica Skipper with a 403B dive and difficulty of 2.1. Judges score 5.5, 5.5, and 6. Now diving, Leah Scouting with a 5.211A dive and difficulty of 2.0. Judges score 5, 5.5, and 5.5. Now diving in the men's 1 meter, Cameron Thompson with a 5.211A dive and difficulty of 1.8.
Here goes Cam, go Cam. Go Cam.
Judges score 4.5, 4.5, and 4.5. Now diving, Manny Lopez Samudio with a 5.121D dive and difficulty of 1.7. Judges score 4, 4, and 3.5. Now diving, Will Goodmaster with a 5.134D dive and difficulty of 2.6. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 6. Now diving, Christian Forster with a 102C dive and difficulty of 1.4. Judges score 4, 4, and 5. Now diving, Matthew Bloma with a 5.233D dive and difficulty of 2.5. Judges score 6.5 and 7. Now diving, Corey Shea with a 5-1-3-2 dive and difficulty of 2.2. Judges score 7 and 7.
That's it.
With that, that concludes today's meet. Let's hear a nice round of applause for all of our participants today. Thank you all for attending today's meet at Grand Valley State University. Please have a great weekend, drive home safe, and as always, go Lakers!
Good job, girls.
I'll see you tomorrow. Good job.
Yeah, great job, sir. Technically till 1:30, but
You are doing so good today. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, exactly. You did so good.
it's the window.
But that's okay.
Everything else.
Oh my God.
That's how we do it. Get the iPad, take it underwater that way. No, it's
Alright, well, way to go.
Thank you. Welcome. Have a good one.
That's that was brutal. That was so bad. Can I get that on YouTube? Oh my God. You're right there. You're that cooler. You're like 105 points away from our original cup. You're that confident. I just thought it was really obvious. The guy who's my age. Yeah, I did. Because I went up and I was like, hey, think about doing 6 times on 3 meter between a triple cup. He's like, nope. And I was like, I'm like, you're not talking about that.
Yeah, just go shower. Let's go.
Like, I don't even.
Yeah,
I don't have to reach in out to be like that. I'm not saying you're fine. Where are we getting from?
I don't know.
Where are you going? Good job, Manny, bro. You killed it. Hey, good luck with the cut again, bro. Congrats on the cut. I'm proud of you. Appreciate it, bro. Good job. You get your cut? You get your cut? Doing really well.
Are you okay?
No.
Okay.
My mouth is okay.
You just seem right.
I'm what?
Send it. Send it. Just hit send.
Here, bro. Don't find that floor. I remember. No, show me again. This one's better. Dude. That's banger. That's banger. Pull that out of his conference, bro. Holy cow. What is that? I haven't done the diving yet. That was my first one. It was on accident. It was on accident. Hey, you look a lot better. Are we not doing on GVSU?
Waiting on Stevie's card. Dude, I follow this guy on TikTok, and it's like called Grand Rapids Money or something like that on TikTok, and he hides money like around people's system. He's spending like $25 in like on your guys' account.
Really?
Yes. I follow him on TikTok, and I'll hide like $5. He hid like some money at our like our student housing here. He'll hide like gift cards at work.
Wow. You shouldn't have
I
heard
like gift cards at Bar's, but I swear he's hidden like $25 on at Calvin. It'll be like on the outdoor scene, you know, like so yeah.
We're very tense legal.
I know, and I've been like, do I just?
You might not.
No,
I'm afraid not.
the gas is down. I did.
You're like 17. Euro.
You would be.
I am over 18. That's damn straight. You look like you're 16.
You look like you're 40.
I don't know what that means. Oh. I look like I'm 40. Wait, do I look my age? You look like you hit no bitch. Yeah, that's fair.
No, you'd be surprised. There's this one girl. Her name's Emma.
Is that the one he like? That's the one he fumbled. That's the one he fumbled. You think I'd be lucky enough to get a kiss? Yeah, that one. You think I'd be lucky enough?
Be careful, mommy's
Screw me. I'm scoring on people. You think things haven't changed? I'm getting too old for this. Dead ass. I'm not even kidding.
You're almost done.
Almost done. Almost done. Mama, we're doing the gym. Pablo! No thanks. Pablo, is there pizza up there? Alright. Get out of here. What? I'm just trying to do the
Yep.
I'm going to take photos of that so we can show it. We can analyze our diet. I know.